After the success of the Thar, Mahindra & Mahindra had a lot riding on this one. This is none other than the Mahindra XUV700, and it is indeed the replacement for the XUV500, and I'm going to review it today. I'm going to show you around the exterior, the interior, the boot and the engine, and let you know my final verdict on the XUV700. Because I'm Shyam Anand and this is Hyper Automobiles. The front of the XUV700 looks very bold with the flat sides of the bonnet. You also get vertical slats for the grille which look very similar to that of the XUV500, and these vertical slats converge into a two-piece daytime running lamp. There's a bit of cladding that covers the fog lamps and the huge air dam beneath it. The side of the XUV700 looks really very SUV-ish with the flat wheel arches. Now as for the wheels, you get 17s for the base trims and 18s for the higher trims. And this is the AX7, so it gets 18s as standard. However, you can't go higher than that, and I'm pretty sure you don't need to. You get discs in the front and back. Another cool feature you get are the pop-out door handles. You also get a panoramic glass sunroof and a huge window area for the third row of seats. At the rear of the car, you get a shark fin antenna, an integrated rear spoiler, and a cool set of LED tail lamps that complete the design of the car. Now it's time to get on with the interior of the XUV700. Now coming to the interior of the Mahindra XUV700, I have a great amount of headroom. Kneeroom and legroom's good too. And I must say that it's a very cozy place to be in. The seats are very well made. They're cushioned very well. You don't get the ventilated seats, but I think that's fine. It's a small feature that you can afford to neglect. However, the bolstering and the under-thigh support is great. The dash, I must say, has been laid out in a very simple, clean and neat manner with a generous amount of soft touch materials being used. You get this beautiful one-piece glass slab that comprises of two 10.25-inch screens, of course one being the instrument cluster and the other being the infotainment system itself. You also get a really responsive multi-functional steering wheel. Now coming to the practicality in the front, I have my 1 liter Hyper water bottle here with me, and first of all I'm going to test out the huge door bins that this has. So as you can see, it can easily house a 1 liter water bottle. And now coming to the next two cup holders that are in the center console behind the gear lever, they too can house a 1 liter water bottle quite easily. You get a cooled glove box with a reasonable amount of storage. The climate controls have a piano black finish around them, and thankfully they have physical buttons, as they are a lot easier to use in my opinion. Coming down below, you have a wireless charging pad, an extra slot for your mobile phone, and two USB-B ports. You get a vanity mirror for the passenger but not for the driver. There are two reading lights, of course a huge panoramic sunroof and a sunglass holder. And finally, you have some more storage below the center armrest. Now, there's a fair bit of chance that you would be sitting in the second row of seats if you get the XUV700. So on that note, getting in and out is fairly easy with the doors opening relatively wide. You also feel very airy inside the cabin with, of course, a huge panoramic glass sunroof and the huge window area. The seats, just like in the front, are really very comfortable. I have a great amount of headroom. I have loads of knee room and loads of legroom. Under-thigh support is good too. Now you can carry 3 people at a time. As you can see, the seat is pretty flat and there's not much of a hump in the floor too. So I can comfortably sit here for a long drive, although my under-thigh support is a little bit compromised, but I think that should be fine. I should be able to sit here for long drives. Another cool feature of the XUV700 is that by any chance, if you are sitting behind the front passenger seat and you don't have enough legroom, you can increase it by pulling this lever right here, and now you have even more legroom than you had before. Now it's time to get on with the practicality of the rear. Now coming to the practicality of the middle row of seats, you have humongous door bins just like the ones in the front, which can easily house a 1 liter water bottle. You have reading lights for the passengers in the middle row of seats. You have reasonably sized door pockets behind the front passengers and the driver's seats. You get 2 air vents for the rear passengers, a USB-C port and some more storage beneath it. You also get a center foldable armrest with 2 cup holders and ISOFIX mounts for child seats. Now, It's time to get on with the third row of the XUV700. Now coming to the third row of seats, I must say that I'm a little cramped over here because as you can see, I don't have much of headroom. My head is almost touching the roof of the car. And as you can see, knee room is also not that great. Leg room is not that good too. So I would say that the third row of seats in specific are very much for minors. Other than that, you get a good window area, you get grab handles, seat belts for the third row of seats. You also get 2 cup holders which can easily house a 1 liter water bottle again. You have the fan speed controls for the 2 AC vents that you get for the rear passengers. Now, it's time to get on with the boot of the car. Now, coming to the boot of the XUV700, as you can see, the tailgate opens very wide and it's really very easy to load things into. Now, with all the seats folded, what you get here is 700 plus liters of boot space. And believe me, that's huge. But without the seats folded, you're hardly gonna get anything. Now, it's time to get on with the engine of the car. Now, coming to the engine of the XUV700, this is the diesel engine. So what you get here is a 2.2 liter turbo diesel inline 4 engine that produces 182 horsepower and a huge, massive 420 Newton meters of torque, and that too at 1600 RPM. That is absolutely crazy what Mahindra has been able to extract out of the diesel engine. You also get a petrol engine option, and that is the 2 liter turbocharged inline 4 petrol engine, the M Stallion, that outputs 200 horsepower and around 325 Newton meters of torque. Now, let's have a quick chat with this XUV700's owner's son, Siddarth. So, what do you think about the XUV700? We know you can't drive yet, but how does the ride feel?
I mean, I would crash it in 2 seconds, but okay. The car is extremely smooth. You won't feel a bump on a road, so it's ride smooth. My dad drives at 80 and thinks he's going at 40. It's you don't get a sense of how fast you're going unless you look at the speedometer. It's extremely smooth, extremely comfortable to ride in. There's ample of space in the car for you to sit in. You can comfortably seat 7 people in this car. Yep, that's it.
Thank you so much, Siddarth. Now it's time for the final verdict of the car. Now, coming to the final verdict of the Mahindra XUV700, so it does miss out on some features like the paddle shifters, ventilated seats and auto-dimming rearview mirror. Also, the all-wheel drive option is only available for the diesel engines and not for the petrol engines, and that makes it a little less viable for the huge audience that it aims for. However though, it does make up for those negative points as it comes feature loaded up to the brim, and that is regardless of whichever variant you choose. Mahindra has also priced the XUV700 very competitively, and that has helped it stack very well against the competition. Anyway, that's what we think about the car. Let us know what you think about the car in the comments below. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel because why not, and it's going to be really helpful to us. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.